All right, good morning. Let's do this thing. Last week of regular season baseball is upon us. Not a lot of teams playing today, but everybody will be playing the next bunch of days. So you either have 6 or 7 games left, depending on who you are. Good morning, everyone. Do we think what happened to the Diamondbacks last year might happen to another team? Well, there's one team that is really struggling. So could be them. Hopefully not. I think I would have a lot more fun in playoffs if the Mets were in it. But yeah, we're now down to the we don't control our own destiny part of the season. So the Reds have officially caught the Mets, and now it's about who plays best this last week. The schedule definitely is a factor in this, obviously. Oh, I don't need notes. Let me just see something real quick. Yeah, I know. We got a lot of sad Met fans. I get it. Don't give up. It's not over yet. It's not over yet. I know it's been sad. Yesterday's game was crazy. Jacob Young, what are we doing? You're making circus catches? Cal goes for 60. Skeens and Green on Wednesday for an important game. Who wins the West? Tigers, can they heat back up? Spector's giving us the storylines, and I love it. All right, this was yesterday's pitching matchups and stuff. All right, we'll keep that open because actually I'm curious about something. Let's head over to the standings. Let's do a little refresh piece, and we'll get going. All right, in the divisions, this one's not totally over. The Blue Jays did obviously clinch a playoff spot, but they are only 2 ahead of the Yankees with, looks like 6 to play. They have the tiebreaker, though. I'm pretty damn sure they have the tiebreaker. They've been kicking the Yankees' butt all year. So really, it's a 3-game lead. So it would take a 5-2 week mixed with like a 1-6 week. I don't even know. But the Blue Jays are probably going to win the division, but we'll see. It's closer than it should be. And then this one got crazy. Detroit 1 ahead of Cleveland. As you can see here in the last 10, we got a 1-9 and a 9-1 going the opposite direction. So that's not good. But yesterday Cleveland did finally lose, so they would have been tied. Seattle now has pretty much taken control of the West. They are 3 up on Houston. They play Colorado next. They should win those games, you would think. I'm getting a voicemail. Don't know who this is from. I'm going to have to check that in a minute. Astros are at the A's, though the A's have been playing spoiler all over the place. That division's over. The Central, that looks like it's cooked now. Yep, they clinched the division. Milwaukee officially clinched the division. So Cubs are our wild card team. Dodgers looking to close out their division. And then the wild card, where are we at this present moment? Cleveland and Houston are tied. Boston 1 ahead of there. So we got some action in the American League. It's really just 2 out of these 3 teams. Boston, Cleveland, Houston will make it. One of those is going to be left wondering what the heck just happened. Could be Houston. I mean, damn, Houston was in first place. Could be them. In the National League, the Reds and the Mets are now tied. I believe the Reds hold the tiebreaker. Somebody can correct me in the chat if that's not right. So at this present moment, the Mets are out. Diamondbacks are 1 back. I don't think the Giants can probably come back from 3 back. But yeah, it's going to all come down to this. Mets are at the Cubs. Reds are home versus the Pirates. Diamondbacks are playing the Dodgers. Dodgers still need these games. So none of that's going to be easy, although those games are in the desert. So maybe that helps Arizona a little bit. I don't know. I just don't know. Yeah, there's only 3 games tonight. All right, so what do we want to talk about from yesterday? We had some good stuff happen yesterday. Let me go to the scoreboard. We got a couple different boards up here so I can make sure I make good decisions on what to watch today. Wow, who knew Joey Bart went 4 for 4 yesterday? Triolo 4 for 5. So Pittsburgh had 2 guys with 8 hits combined. Corbin Carroll. Obviously, we'll check in on all the games that mattered. Ben Rice hit that grand slam in extra innings. This is an interesting development now, too. Emmett Sheen has been absolutely shoving for the Dodgers lately. He's got a 2.86 now in 72 innings this year. So he's going to probably transition to the bullpen, I would imagine, for the playoffs and be a factor for the Dodgers. That's an excellent piece adding to their bullpen. Bradish looked really good. J-Mo threw well. Yuri Perez with a weird line. 4 innings, 9 Ks. And then Logan Gilbert continuing. Yeah, they won both season. They won both series this season. I thought the Mets won. I know the Reds won the series in New York. Did the Mets didn't win that series in Cincinnati or didn't split it? I guess even if they split it, it would be the Reds would have the advantage, so it doesn't matter. All right. We got to talk about what first today. Let's see. These are all the scores from yesterday. Blue Jays hung on for a win. So Yesavage pitched. I know there's a lot of interest in him. He didn't get as many strikeouts, and he only pitched 4 innings. So maybe we should head over to the Blue Jays and the Royals before we get into a lot of this wild card stuff. So he went walk, fly out. Just curious to see the outs here real quick from Yesavage. He walked that leadoff hitter. Obviously, you know, the first game he looked incredible. So, like I always say with these debut videos that I've been posting, you know, it's just one day, you know. But you learn a ton. You learn a ton about what they're all about in terms of their pitch mix. And certainly Yesavage is exciting, if for no other reason, but just that arm angle creates a very awkward entry point into the strike zone, very downward, something that a lot of people haven't seen very often. But you have to see what it looks like when he struggles too, you know, because everybody usually has like common ways to struggle. Like some guys, it's walks and sloppy play, and they kind of do it to themselves. Some guys, it's like you're only really getting them with homers, solo homers. Some guys are horrible at holding runners. Some guys are horrible at fielding. Some guys struggle when they stack the lineup all left-handed. Some guys struggle when they stack the lineup all right-handed. So it does look like there's a lot of outs even here that are right down the middle here in the first inning. Here's a strikeout. Caglione on the split. Let's see what this one looks like. That's what we were used to seeing from the first game. Really good downward action on this split here. And it's got fade to it. Thought maybe we could get a better view of that, but let's watch it again. I don't think lefties are the meta against him, but I guess we're going to see when they start scoring these runs in this game. Royals put a lot of lefties in the lineup. So the first 3 innings went really good, obviously. You see a lot of mishit balls. Not a lot of strikeouts in this game, but I didn't really see too many red flags except for down the middle so far. And then here's where the runs start coming. Okay, Michael Garcia.
One of the hard hit outs for the Royals today. And there is a deflection by
Well, it pulls a scud off the third baseman, Barger. 102-4. Obviously, this is a hit. You just try to knock it down. Good job there. And then we got, then he comes back to strike out Salvi. So 1 out in the 4th. This is going to be a split. You see the amount of chase, and it's not even close to the plate. So there's still a lot of encouraging signs in this outing. This type of chase is just very rare. I mean, this ball actually might hit the plate. If not, it's right behind the plate. Really hard to get a hitter to chase that, so that just speaks to what his pitches, the effect his pitches have on these batters. All right, here we go, more hits. Here's Frazier's going to get a hit. So the first hit was a pulled grounder. Probably should have got an out on this play. They don't get an out, but that's a hit. So, okay. This is why I think it's important to get the context. Here's a first pitch ambush on a split. Interesting. So that's the first bad split we've seen out of him for contact. That's a high split in the zone. Didn't really do anything. Didn't really have the usual effect, and it's whacked into right for a 2-1 hit. Now, I guess there was also a walk in there. Caglione walk, 4-pitch walk. So that's inexcusable. That's going to hurt you. And then Yastrzemski's going to get a hit on a split.
Hit hard into right center field. So Yastrzemski.
All right, so this is the first real adversity he's hit so far in the big leagues. The fourth inning got a little weird with... Fourth inning goes single, strikeout, single, single, and 2 of those singles were kind of in the infield, and then one legit hit, and then he gets a walk and a ground out to get around that. Then a leadoff single for Yastrzemski. Then there's this play, which I think is what we're talking about in the chat a little bit.
That's line to center, and a sliding, tumbling grab is a trap. Ruled by the third.
So that got overturned into a hit. They're saying he didn't catch this.
Over 40.
Looks to me like he caught it, but I can't really tell. I don't have a great angle on that. Oh, I don't want minor leagues. League majors, hold on. Let me see if I can't find a better view of that. Yeah, we're going to get a lot more. We're going to get a better angle here. So Bobby went to the dugout, so it was 100% a catch on the close-up, so he got screwed here. So this is why it's important to have context. Well, that was here we go. Oh my God, it's a full catch. It's not even a question.
I think he might have caught it.
And it's obviously going to be very close, but he caught it. Yeah.
I don't understand how that call this call stands.
No catch.
Yeah, Varsho can't believe it. He caught it. It didn't end up costing the team, but obviously this is going to cost Yesavage at least 1 run, maybe 2, depending on how this this snowballed after he came out. So Luke Little then came in, ground out. So this would have been out number 2. And it would have been a man on third. It would have been a man on third and 2 outs. And then a single. So that run would have scored. So Luke Little came in and gave up 3 hits in a row. So it would have been 3 earned. Anyway, you know, Yesavage, we talked a little bit about in the first game about how his chase rate is very likely to be a little out of control. That's all, like in a good way. That's all, you know, really dependent on getting ahead the proper way. So he got 7 whiffs, and yesterday he only got 22% O swing. O swing stands for out of zone swing. So that's chase rate, basically. Not high. Not as high as he was the first game. My sense from watching this is he didn't really control the zone as well. He didn't get himself into probably the best counts that he could have. And that's probably a little bit of a result of what you see. But, you know, again, what's it look like when a guy struggles? A couple walks, a couple... In this case, a couple seeing eye ground balls, and then a split left up in the zone. So I think that's something that I talked about a little bit about one possible Achilles heel for Trey is not having a lot of pitches that play well within the strike zone. So split's really designed for chase, and the slider's also designed for chase. And the fastball's designed to be in the zone mostly, but the slider looks like the other pitch that's going to be mostly in the zone. This one, he goes splitter in the zone. The splitter is definitely not going to play the same in the zone. This is a full chase pitch for sure. So it's interesting to see, being a 3-pitch pitcher and not having a lot of pitches that you trust in the zone, how that kind of works out. So anyway, Blue Jays hang on. They win. They're getting close to the clinch. So now I'm curious. All right. Let's go back to the chat because there's some talks here. Oh, so the Mets lost both series to the Reds. Thank you. I thought there was a 4-game series in there somewhere. Usually you play like a 3 and a 4 against teams. All right. So he was missing over the plate. Yeah, that's what it looked like to me too. These young guys really need the freedom to fail. This is not very compatible with a playoff stretch. Yeah, and that's why I don't think Yesavage is going to be in the playoff rotation anyway. I think he'll be a weapon though. Didn't know if we already discussed this or not, but what's your thought on the whole Marlins calling pitches from the dugout? I hate it. I don't understand it. Teach them how to call the game. You don't have the same angle from the dugout. I don't think you can read much from the dugout in terms of the batters. So you're saying that none of this stuff matters. All that matters is just your pitch percentages and just keeping those online. And I think that's what the Marlins are trying to do. They're trying to basically keep guys, throwing the pitches in the proper amounts that they want. But ultimately, this isn't really helping the player get any better, I don't think, and learn enough about reading at bats and what's right in front of them, and being a type of guy that can adapt to situations. So I'm not really into that. And I don't think I would accept it if I was a player, to be honest with you. I'm not going to let your choices dictate my career. You have the choice to put me on the mound or not, but once I'm out there, I'm out there. That's the way I feel about it. And there was a Brandon Lau fishy home run as well. It's also selfish for the manager to reveal he's calling the pitches. Now teams are going to be studying him, trying to find a tell. So they're not doing that because what they're doing is, I noticed what they're doing. It's an unbreakable system. This is what college teams do now. So the catcher has a wristband. The wristband has numbers on it. The numbers correspond to a pitch call, like a call and location. It's all pre there, but it's all randomly number generated. So you can't learn anything from the signs that the coach is giving to the catcher. He's mostly giving him like 3-1-2, and then he looks for 3-1-2 on his arm pad, and that means curveball. And then all that happens is he calls the curveball on the button, and then the manager or whoever's calling the pitches crosses that out on the sheet, gives them the next number. When they run out of signs to give, they rip that up. They have another randomly generated sheet. He gets the wristband, and they do it again. So it's not pickable. It's not gettable. You can't get it unless you did some crazy mission to go steal the sheets. But at the same time, I just don't like this. This isn't This isn't very professional baseball to me. Marlins have tried a lot of crazy stuff. Some of it I like. This I'm not so much a fan of. The manager came from the Dodgers, so he knows how an org should be run. So why make this choice? This wasn't really him. He got the job being open to new things. Gabe Kapler is now over there directing a lot of player development stuff. They tried to do like crazy distraction techniques, training, and crazy stuff with guys on the backfields in Jupiter this year. They brought in live arms, which I actually think is an interesting idea. Not that hitters are going to want to hit against live arms all the time, but they brought in live arms, basically held a tryout camp to find pitchers that can go ahead and pitch against the team. So they're basically getting more at bats. I mean, they're trying different things. I have no problem with trying different things. I was a part of a piggyback system in Colorado, and I didn't have a problem with us trying something new. But you open yourself up for criticism, and it's fair for us to talk about it and to think about what we think about it. I have a hard time computing. Even in college, I called my own pitches, even when other guys didn't. I just felt like I needed to learn. It's the only thing that's sustainable. And as a player, you need to learn for yourself, because the odds of you sticking with one team that's spoon feeding you the pitch calls, it's not very likely. So anyway, I don't think it's Clayton McCullough as much as it's just the organization trying to do out of the box things, trying to figure out ways to get edges, that don't cost money, obviously. How often do you have to change the numbers? It's just like, it's all randomly generated, so the numbers don't even have to change. It's just they all mean different things on the different sheets, and then once you get through one sheet, they rip it up and they switch it out for a whole new sheet. And it's all random, so you know, different combinations mean, you know, just correspond to a different pitch, but you would never be able to pick it because there's no rhyme or reason behind it. It's all random, so it's a really good system. It's a lot better than, you know, the old systems where the college coach would kind of give the coach, like, give all the taps or whatever. Those are easily pickable. I mean, we used to pick them in college all the time from the other teams, but this is hard. This is hard to do. Okay, so Yesavage, whatever, 2 starts in. This first one was unbelievable. Second one wasn't unbelievable. You know, I don't know. I just think it's kind of a weird thing. All right, so Tampa ends up beating Boston. So is there there's a Brandon Lau home run in this game that we have to look at? I didn't watch a whole lot of this. I think Early started this game, correct? This is off Mats. So what's controversial about this? Let's see it.
High fly ball, right field. That's got a chance to go, and that baby's gone.
Well, nothing controversial about that. That looks way gone. Now maybe something happened earlier in the at-bat.
Second in this inning against Steven Matz. Pitcher number 3.
Ball. Well, Kim Ng was beloved by the people that worked with her in the organization. I know that from Skip Schumacher, and they wanted to hire above her, and people felt like she was doing a great job within the org, and so it was she's the one who left. She didn't want to be behind and under Peter Bendix, who came from the Rays. All right, so I don't see much with this. Obviously, this ball's crushed. Was there something that I missed? I'm trying to see if there's something I missed here. No, this looks like a basic fly out. There's that early sinker in on the left hands. Yeah, Matsy got traded over there this year from the Cardinals. Oh, they used Tolley in relief in this game too. Okay, so it was a single walk, and then this was a big hit in the game. A first pitch slider to Morel. And that's kind of the game. You never know when it's going to happen. It happens right in the first inning sometimes. Weissert, Matsy, Kelly, Tolley. Tolley walk, single, pop up, sac fly. So Tolley gave up some runs too. I do think the command seems to be a little bit of a worry with this guy. As good as this fastball is, they wanted him in this spot. They brought him in to face Brandon Lau. So this is a little bit of a playoff test. You bring a lefty in here to go left on left with kind of the game on the line. And he ends up walking him. But this is how they, in their mind's mind, this is how they would, their heart, this is how they would like Tolley to be utilized, I think, in the bullpen. I mean, there's so many fake text messages that I get. Do you guys get these? I didn't order a new iPhone. All right. Then Morel gets a hit. Someone needs to tell the Sox Tolley can't throw 11 heaters in a row. I know, it's just tough because I think right now if you're watching him, the heater is such a better pitch than everything else he has. I agree, he needs to mix it up more. This is the big leagues. Guys are going to get hits, especially, you know, veterans that are just going to key in on the one pitch, as all 3 of these hits are fastballs. But at the same time, you know, I don't know what you tell him. What do you go with? The cutter? The changeup he doesn't seem to have a feel for yet. This is a little bit of the issue at times with a young player who you get excited about the upside. But I think the big leagues sometimes is more about who are you when you stink. Like, can you still get outs when you're not great, when you're not at your best? You know? Can you minimize damage? And I think that's always the big key for a younger player, because that results in consistency. That's where you see a guy, wow, he would have been hosed. Rafael threw it a little high there. So you talk about with consistency, it's like, you know, Will Warren, for example, this year with the Yankees, he's thrown some really good games, but he's had a couple of really, really big clunkers, you know, and I think if he was able to minimize damage in those games, cut a couple runs off the ledger, he'd be looking a lot better. People would have a different opinion of him, but you can't take those games away. He's going to get his strikeout here.
Heads up play there by Rafael. Williams is out on strikes.
So he's facing his first little bit of big league adversity. Mr. Peyton Tolley is also early today. So the two rookies got hit for the first time, really. I mean, I know Tolley struggled a bit in Sacramento, but now he's transitioning to this relief role, and they're trying to see where he's going to fit in on a potential playoff roster. Granted, the Red Sox got to make it. They're only one up, so it's definitely getting late. It's getting late, and we'll see how this plays out. All right. We'll hop off of that game. What else we got that mattered? Arizona, that mattered. Seattle gets the sweep of Houston. Let's go over there, Seattle and Houston, because there was some stuff in that game. Cal Raleigh continues to mash. He's getting close to 60 homers. I'm starting to think MVP race, the vote might be a little tighter. I thought, despite all the discourse, I thought Judge would probably run away with it, given the you know, the media markets and stuff like that. But I'm starting to think that's not the case. Okay, so this was a crazy inning. Holy cow. They put this game away crazy in the second inning. 1-2-3 inning in the first. Then we go single, single, single. Let's just watch this rally here for the Mariners, where they basically bury the Astros in the AL West with this one inning. So Josh Naylor with a bunt hit. Look at the high home. Nobody there. He takes his hit. Gets the rally started. Beautiful job there. Good guy to do it against, too. It's not like an overpowering, hard to bunt off guy. So he picked a good victim there. All right, Polanco's going to get a hit.
Early 2000s where they were as good as any team in baseball, and they can fill it up. This is going to be a challenging play.
These are the most frustrating innings as a pitcher. It's a bunt hit, it's an infield chopper, and that's going to really open the floodgates for a huge inning. And it's really tough. All right, now Gino comes up. Stays through a sinker, slices it to right, so bases loaded, no outs. And we got a line out from Canzone. Wonder if Canzone's going to be on the Italian team. Oh, he lined it, but they only got the one out. Man, Naylor. Look at Naylor's route here running. He tried to get way in the way here. He's like, look at me. That's illegal, but I love the idea. I love the idea of it. Always playing. Guy plays hard. But anyway, that lends itself to a continued dangerous situation. There's a bases loaded walk here. So he's trying not to give in. Trying not to give in. But then he's like, I can't be having bases loaded walks. Hold on. And then J.P. Crawford. Ooh, it's a 1-2 sweeper. Oh. And just like that, it's 5-0. Let's watch this hold at bat. I'm curious how we went about him here. So sinker first pitch. Gets the take. No intention of swinging at that. Change up off of that. Still looking for a double play ball here if you're the pitcher. Ooh, he gets to 0-2 right away. Change up again. Pulls it down. So now all three pitches went left to right. He's thinking, I'm going to go right to left. I understand it. The only issue is the sweeper's not very fast. And he ended up throwing it right down the middle. I think this was a good pitch choice if you ran it in off the plate inside, or even if he stayed on the edge backside. But, you know, you see the location. It's middle. He had slowed him down on back-to-back changeups. And then that's crippling. Really good swing by J.P. Crawford. He rode it out a little bit. He was a little bit ahead of that. Nice swing. All right, let's watch Cal's homer. Then there was a single, and then Cal Raleigh. 2-pitch at bat. It's going to be a cutter. Cutter in ball. Change up off that. Kaboom. Line drive. Top spin, too. Top spin down the line into the ambulance bay over there. 107.6, 27. And they're piling it on. So Mariners go on to win this. They sweep. Logan Gilbert with a good start. 6 innings, 1 run. Mariners fans are loving it in Houston. Cal Raleigh. That was number 58. So he's 2 away from 60, which, let's not normalize that. That's insane. 60 home runs. How many people have even hit 60 in a year? Less than 6 or 7, right? You got Sosa, you got McGuire, you got Bonds, you got Judge. Who am I missing? Maris, Ruth, that's it. Oh, my wife's writing me in the chat. What's she saying? Oh, apparently they're heading home to crash the stream. Okay. If Cal beats Judge's record, you have to award him the MVP. But if Cal doesn't get 60, I don't think he wins. That's just a weird way to go about voting, Spectre, don't you think? It's just like, who's the most valuable this year? I don't think you have to hit any benchmarks. It's just you got to decide. But I get it. That's how you're kind of organizing it in your head a little bit. So I get that to some extent. Logan Gilbert only 4 strikeouts, but gets through 6 really well. Matt Brash ended the game. This was the last pitch. It's going to be a backdoor sinker probably. Yep, dotted. So that's a sweep. That must have felt good. You know how many years they've been going to Houston and getting their butts kicked in big games? A lot. A lot. That's the answer. JP might not be the franchise cornerstone, but he's definitely that favored vet. He's pretty good. Some might play Hall of pretty good. What kind of year is JP having? I think he's having a down year offensively, right? Is his defense still holding up? Because he's always been known for that. Wow, defense is not holding up. -11 this year on outs above average. Did not see that coming. He's always been known as a defender. Very short-handed to hitting. Actually not that bad. It's just the fact that he's not getting as many balls in the air as he would like to. It looks like that's a trend. It was 2 years ago that he had the big year with the 818 OPS. Last year, must have got hurt at somewhere along the way. Slugging went way down. This year he's kind of splitting the difference. So it's basically the same player he was before with a little less pop this year. Yeah, a lot of walks. Walk percentage is good, so he does his job getting on base. I don't know. He's a useful player for sure. Wonder what reference has him for WAR this year. 3.6. Solid. Solid season. So, yeah, he struggled the last few years defensively. Interesting. Yeah, I was surprised to see that. 2024, he was still above average slightly. 2023, no bueno. 2022, no bueno. Yeah, so maybe not. Maybe the defense really hasn't been a thing in a while. I know that was his original calling card, but again, like sometimes the eye test is a little different than actual value. So it looks like his last truly great year was 2017 on defense. So I need to get updated in my brain about maybe who this player is. Will they move him off short? I don't know who they got. They got a replacement. I mean, that's always the question. Who you got? You got somebody awesome coming in. Also, he's got to be a free agent pretty soon. What's his contract status? Did he sign one of those extensions? Yeah, so he's making money again next year, $12 million, and then he's a free agent. So one more year. I think you just ride it out. Especially, I mean, they're a winning team this year. Obviously, like Spectre mentioned, he's definitely a favored vet. He's somebody that the boys, love having around. The upside's still in there. I mean, career, he's above average OPS plus. I don't know if that 800 OPS that he had the 1 year, 2023, is ever really coming back. But you do like the walks. 72 walks this year. That's outstanding. So that really helps that on base. 353 is very good. So he's been better than it seems in a lot of ways. But that defense, yeah, it looks like it's a range issue. does look like it's a range issue. You know, it makes sense. Like the sprint speed's gone down. I don't know. There's not a lot of great defensive stuff to look at for infielders on StatCast. Let me see if I can find something here. Let's see here if this loads. Once this loads, should load eventually. They don't have a lot of his defense on here. I need to learn how to organize this. I saw something the other day that was pretty good. It was like by hit probability defensive plays. So I know I'm wasting a lot of time right here, but I was curious. Anyway, Emerson and a few others that can play shortstop. Cole Young. I don't know. I guess you got to evaluate those guys too. All right, what else should we look at? That was the Mariners and Astros. So here's the 60 home run club. Judge, Ruth, Sosa, Maris, McGuire, Bonds. So that's it. That's it. So he gets there. He adds his name to a pretty crazy list. A lot of unbelievable power hitters never got there. I know Stanton had like 58 or 59 that one year. All right, let's check in on the Diamondbacks and the Phillies. They beat up Ranger Suarez a little bit to stay in this thing. I mean, right away in the first inning. Marte double. This is like a D-backs thing. 2 years ago, they snuck in, went all the way to the NLCS. Last year, they collapsed at the end. Didn't make it. And now this year, they're having a late push to try to get in it again. So, the last week of the season has been super interesting for Arizona Diamondback fans the last few years. Ooh, Geraldo Perdomo. Sick bunt there. That sets up this Gabriel Moreno hit.
Like a reverse Al Davis. Don't lose, baby. Bounced up the middle. Corbin running on the play.
The batted ball luck of the ground ball pitcher. You just never know. You just never know. Yeah, nobody would have projected a catcher to be next on the list. I agree with that. And that's why I thought he was never going to get to 60. Even when Cal was at the huge number early in the year, I was like, he's just going to get tired catching. There's no way. But credit to him. He's been unbelievable. And it all leads up to this Corbin Carroll homer that really blew the game open here and made it 6-0. So let's watch this at bat. Left on left. Sinker in generates the swing. So that's the advantage of that sinker in. Left on left. Corbin Carroll trying to be aggressive on the first pitch. Gets super jammed up here. Gonna go to sinker off that. Gonna double up. Up high. And now he's going to go to the slider. I feel like Carroll was looking for that because he didn't flinch at all at anything that was coming in on him. And that's an unreal swing. 107 at 30. 3-run homer. 6-0 D-backs. When they're back in it, they are right there. They are one game back of the Reds/Mets. They go to LA. I mean, they play LA now at home, so tough series, but anything can happen. Dude, he's unbelievable. The way he does this one-hand finish, pound for pound, he hits the ball as hard as anybody. Because what does Corbin realistically weigh? 175? He's a freak. What a unique player. This is a player that it was weird for me his sophomore year when he slumped a little bit at the beginning. Because this is a skill set that should never slump. Speed, power, Ability to spray the ball to all fields. Small guy, so tough guy to pitch to. I mean, you look at the metrics across the board, they're really, really good this year. A little bit too much chase. Can't really quibble anything else. The walk percentage is there. You know, even the exit velocity is really good. Remember, he's not big. The defense, the range is played outstanding. The sprint speed, we know about that. Curious about, man, he's crushing fastballs. 17 run value on fastballs. Sorry about that. This is what I'm curious about. Max EV. So Max EV, he's in the 96th percentile. 96th. So that's like one of the hardest outputs in the game. And he does it from a 5'10", 165 frame. So kids at home, you should be able to learn a lot from watching him. Now, I know not everybody's going to be the same quality of natural athlete that Corbin Carroll is, but he shows you that you can achieve some pretty impressive metrics power-wise from a smaller frame. I would love to hone in on what he's focused on in his training, what he thinks about in his hitting. He'd be a fun guy to get on and talk about some of these things because he's doing it in a way that most guys don't. If we go to the Max EV leaderboard, I guarantee you he's the smallest dude. That's in the top, let's see, who's smaller than him in the top 26? Because here he is, 26th. So Acuna's bigger than him. Canzone, maybe. Canzone. Marte's bigger than him. Mountcastle, Ramos, Goodman, Barger, Caminero, Seiya, Conine, Jowenski, Noel, De La Cruz, Augustine, Witt, Schwarb, Stanton, Walker, Duran. Duran, that's pretty impressive too. I don't know how big Jaron is. Doesn't feel very big. He's Jack Diesel, but doesn't feel very big. Naylor's big. Wood. Interesting that Naylor's this high, 99th percentile, but doesn't utilize it a lot. That's not main part of his game. Judge, Cruz, Marte, Guerrero, Shohei. So, yeah, I can probably work to get him on here in the offseason. I'm probably going to look to get a lot more players on in the offseason. It's tough right now. Everybody's super locked in. Should have a guest on tomorrow, but waiting to get that confirmed. Anyway, that's just fascinating to me because he's not big. And yet you look at the Max EV, and that super stands out for his size. So let's see what Jaron Duran is. How big is Jaron listed at? I mean, you got to be careful with these listings. It had me listed wrong for pretty much my whole career. But yeah, 6'1", 205. So according to this, he's got 40 pounds on Corbin Carroll. So that's pretty amazing. Yeah, and Ketel Marte at 100th. Ketel Marte became Jack Diesel over time, too. 6 foot 210. Again, he's listed at 165. I don't think he is 165. Corbin Carroll is probably more like 175. But either way, that's pretty amazing. Yeah, I mean, Ketel Marte is one of the best players in the game, full stop. I mean, you see it here on the OPSs. 843, 932, 883. That's pretty damn good consistency. On base is there, slugging is there, speed's there. Switch hits, plays middle infield. Ketel does a lot right. So that's the Diamondbacks. Kind of crazy that they were sellers, but they're one game out right in this thing. Very exciting for them and their fans. This is what they do every year. All right, what else we got? Hold on one sec. Let me see what else we got in the chat here. Do I think the D-backs regret trading Suarez? I mean, probably not, because they're playing with house money at this point. They've already reconciled in their head that they're probably not winning the World Series. So maybe they got something they wanted for Suarez, so I could see that. Geraldo Perdomo will be top 5 in MVP, which is crazy. I know. I mean, the WAR number is wild for him. He's had a heck of a year. And if you think about it, we're now looking at a few of their guys. They have several elite performers offensively. You know, they got this dude, they got Carroll, they got Marte. Suarez was there. Offense hasn't been a problem. He's put together a hell of a year, man. He's got an 853 OPS. He does it without high-end exit velos. The range is outstanding, so the defensive value's been there. And then the base running value is really there too as well. Really good. Even though he's slightly below average sprint speed, he's working with one of the best coaches, if not the best first base coach in all of MLB, which is Dave McKay of the Diamondbacks. If you've noticed, the Diamondbacks have always been incredible with steals. They seem to know what they're doing a lot at first base. And it's all Dave McKay. Dave McKay is one of the most prepared coaches there is in the league. He was there with the Cardinals when I was there, one of La Russa's guys. Just a baseball lifer, knows it all, throws unbelievable BP, always threw to Pujols' group, but super locked in on the base running, incentivizes it, makes it fun for the players, gets a lot out of them. Paul Goldschmidt credited him with a lot of his base running prowess, and he's going to ride that to potential Hall of Fame. That's a sweetener in his Hall of Fame case as well. So just wanted to point that out and give love to Dave McKay of the Diamondbacks. Perdomo might be the new J-Ram. Well, that's saying a lot because we all know how good Jose Ramirez is. But where is Perdomo looking the last few years? That's Angel Perdomo. Wrong guy. So he's at 13.3 WAR. A long way to go to J-Ram. As we noticed yesterday, he's almost a 60 career WAR, which is wild. But yeah, he's been pretty damn consistent the last 3 seasons. Especially the last 2. So he's improving. 2 WAR in 2023, and it was an all-star. So it must have been all in the first half. Then last year, a better year. 3.5 WAR year. Damn good year. All around play. And then this year, the offense went to a new level. So if he can maintain this level of offense, we might have ourselves another big-time player here. And it won't be a one-off. Suarez trade returns first base Tyler Locklear, number 9 prospect, right-handed pitcher Hunter Cranton, number 16, and Juan Burgos, number 17. That's a pretty good. That's a pretty good haul. 3 lottery tickets. One of them's a first baseman. 2 of them are pitchers. We'll see. But Suarez, he was obviously a free agent at the end of the year anyway. They're playing really well without him, showing you how one player is not necessarily the be-all and end-all with winning. But yeah. All right, I'm done talking about them. They're right in it, but that brings me to the Reds. Reds win a 1-0 game. So this was, see how they pitched this one. I know it was Andrew Abbott who stepped up, but only 4 2/3, and then they went Nick Martinez for 2 1/3 to then Graham Ashcraft and Tony Santillan, and they got the job done. J-Mo threw 7 innings, 1 run on the other side, but the Cubs get swept. Cubs have an interesting series coming up with the Mets at home. These games are all enormous for the Metros, obviously. The Cubs have really nothing to gain from it except they'd like to play a little better headed into the playoffs. So I'll be curious to see how competitive those games are at Wrigley as the Cubs now try to get ready to lock it in because they're going to have a big playoff series coming up about a week from now. So interesting. Andrew Abbott, though, 4 2/3, only 2 strikeouts, gets him through. I'm curious if Nick Martinez came in at a big spot in this game. So let's go over there. Cubs and Redlegs. So let's see when Abbott leaves. Line out, pop out, single. It was really just one man on. And then Martinez came in and punched out Seiya. He's got a really good changeup. He throws that Vulcan. Nice pitch, holds him there. He's a huge piece. He's such an interesting pitcher because he kind of does both. He starts, he relieves, he can go long, he can go short. He's a reverse split guy at times, Martinez. So there's a lot of ways to deploy a guy, and that's why I think he's been such a valuable piece for the teams he's been on recently, the Padres, and definitely the Reds now. And then he does a good job. He just goes straight through. Ground out, line out, fly out, ground out, fly out, fly out. Ashcraft, pop out, strike out, single, pop out. Santillan made it a little interesting. Walk, fly out, strike out, walk, and then PCA. Let's watch the last at bat of the game. This was huge. Also odd to see PCA striking out looking. Up away, swing through. You always got to expect a swing from this dude. Up middle, popped up. Oh my God, he fell down on this pitch. What happened here? Oh, he rolled the left ankle. Anyway, he gets them together, goes for the next pitch for the victory. It's another fastball, probably down, I'm guessing. Yeah, accidental pull in. Nice catch by the catcher. I mean, catcher's all the way on the third base side, right? Yeah, he's getting ready to catch up and away heater here. Snatches it, holds it on. Reds hang in. 1-0 win. And they've been winning by a thread every game too. So crazy series for them. Santillan comes through huge here. Big time. So we'll see how that goes. They got the Pirates next. How'd they score their 1 run? Got it off JMO. Here it is. This was on a Gavin Lux double. This was the 1 run of the game. So man on second with 2 outs. Lux gets a predictable fastball and a fastball count. Scores Matt McLean. So that's the 1 run. That was it. 1-0. This game had huge nail biter value in it, especially for these Reds fans that are suddenly packing out the ballpark to see if they can squeeze their way through. So there's that. All right, and then Yankees we saw, well, we didn't watch it yet, but that happened in extra innings. And then there's the Mets. Man, it's just hard to get through it without talking about the Mets. Texas is cooked. We don't care about, a lot of these games don't have a lot of importance down the stretch right here. Dodgers do lose to the Giants. I feel like Trinan's been a part of a lot of these lately. Something must be up with him. All right, we got a question here. In the heat of the playoff race, what's an off day like given the stakes, given most teams have the day off today? These off days are huge because everybody's like so tired at this time of year. But if you're a winning team, you probably want to keep playing. You want to maintain that momentum. Because I think it's really good for the body to get a day off, but sometimes it's a little dangerous for the mind. You don't want to check out too much because the next day you got to come in and lock in. So just depends on how you take it. But I think, for example, for the Mets, a team that needs to clear their brain out and play good baseball in Chicago, they're in Chicago today, have an off day. It's a great place to have an off day. Families are probably there. Just get away from it. If your family's not there, maybe go play golf or go explore, go get a really good dinner. Just try to clear it out, but understand that tomorrow's go time. I got to show up ready to play. For a team that's winning, it's probably more of the same, but you're probably itching a little bit to get back in there because you feel that momentum and you don't want to lose it. Yeah, Kevin, you missed earlier. I didn't watch much of early. I saw it was basically a first inning that got him. But we did watch a little bit of the Yesavage. Just more balls down the middle. Gave up some hits on splitters in zone that cost them. Should have had 1 less earned run. There was a bad overturn. But anyway, he looked okay. I wouldn't say it was as dominant as the first game, but also I don't think he's going to be starting in the playoffs. So I don't know. It was important to see what it looks like when it doesn't all go as smoothly as he would like it to go. Okay, let's look at the pain. Washington, the Mets. We got to watch Jacob Young just because these plays were insane yesterday. So we just got to watch them. They'll probably be here on the highlights because Jacob Young, if you guys don't know, this guy's defense is a freaking joke. And I'm sure you've seen these already, but let's watch them. Here's the first one. All right, here's the first one. Beatty out to center. He gets turned around super awkwardly and ends up kicking it up to himself. Oh, did he try to do that on purpose? I guess it's more of a reaction than anything, but I have to tell you, I've never seen this before. I've seen balls land on an outfielder and get kind of propped up where they can hold on to it. Jake Irvin can't believe it. I don't think even Jacob Young can believe it. And then this one saved the game. Alvey with one of his best swings in a long time. And he mistimed the jump. I don't think he knew where the fence even was here. But he's able to catch it and ram his body in there, hold on to it. That saved the game for the Washington. The Mets have no freaking luck right now. And this is the way you make your presence be known and the way that you provide value to the team despite having a 5-something OPS. And that really took the wind out of the Mets' sails. But we had to watch that because that was just crazy, crazy, crazy. The 2 plays, especially the circus catch. This one, I mean, I just don't know if I've ever seen anything like it. He actually kind of screws himself up, but the way the ball drops, he's able to hacky sack it. And then somehow he pops it up just perfectly. I still can't get over this play. Yeah, this is like, but yeah, there's the Paul O'Neill who kicked the ball back in the day with the Reds to get it into the cutoff man. But yeah, I don't know. Other than that, if you want to be optimistic about this game for the Mets, it's the Mets bullpen. They did a really good job. Holmes in the piggyback role, 3 2/3. Raley came in, struck out the batter he was tasked with. Soto did a good job, and then Diaz looked incredible. Sugar punched out the side really, really fast. Again, kind of though bringing up the thought of why he didn't keep going the night before in the second one, because the second inning the other night, because he had only thrown 7 pitches. So I feel like, Mendy's trying to do as good as he can with Diaz, trying to understand, like, you can't use him every second of every game. But at the same time, when the games are in the balance, you kind of have to let him go at this point. He doesn't have a crazy workload this year. I think it's, let's see, he's at 60 innings, 58 games. He can handle this. He can be worn out pretty good the rest of the way in an effort to get in. I mean, he's got years with 66, 73, 66. And he's been pretty well protected the last few years. I'd be surprising if he doesn't throw 5 innings in this last week. That would be my expectation for Shug coming down the stretch, because he's by far the guy that they need on the mound right now. 91 strikeouts, 60 innings, .94 WHIP. You just can't trust anybody like you can trust Sugar right now for the Mets. All right. That's about it to look at for the Mets. They didn't really hit. They didn't get the job done offensively. Obviously, Jacob Young saved the day there, so that was huge for Washington, and the Mets just feel like they're snakebit at this point. Okay, so we watched those games. Those games are important, and then the last one, well, Cleveland doesn't win. They lose to Minnesota, and Detroit loses. So that kind of keeps the status quo. And then the Yankees, who are chasing the Blue Jays. Let's go check in a little bit on the Yankees and Orioles game. Bradish threw a great game. This is also a pretty good sign for the Yankees. They've been trying to figure out their bullpen mix for a while, and yesterday was finally a day where the bullpen really came through huge. Hill does a good job. Cruz does a good job. Weave does his job. Devin Williams, 3 punchies. So he's rounding into his tippy-top form as we head into this last week. Strikeout looking of Beavers. Henderson on a changeup.
The mix is still electric as 1-2.
That's the spot right there. Down in Armside, and then Mountcastle. Mountcastle on a heater. So 2 strikeouts on fastballs, 1 on a changeup. These guys are completely in between. So this is where they're supposed to be. Bednar does his job. Doval does his job in the bottom of the 10th to win this thing, even though they were way ahead now. This is how the game ended. Doval, he's been kind of good outing, bad outing, but the stuff has been very good. Wow, what a finishing move here. And then the big swing in this game was Ben Rice. So let's watch the whole at-bat. 4-pitch at-bat. Facing Aiken. Slider away. Now there's no outs here, so your object here is to actually try to hit a home run. And if you hit a sac fly, you hit a sac fly, but you cannot hit a ground ball here. So this is kind of like home run derby practice, but you got to put it in play. Ooh, chases a slider there. Almost a double play. Game of inches here. So he chases the slider. So 1-2. He's seen a fastball, 2 sliders. And he chased this one. Let's see what Aiken goes here. He goes to the 4. Oof. Couldn't be more middle. Credit to Rice. He's on time for the fastball, even though he just swung at the slider. 110 at 24. He's been a damn good hitter. He's been a very unlucky hitter this year, but he's been a damn good hitter. He hits the ball hard. I like the way that his bat head, he's got a very similar approach, in my opinion, to, who was it that I was looking at recently who does this? Where the bat's already kind of laid in the slot. So it's already there. He doesn't have to do as much with the hands. It's just kind of already in the slot, and then he just gets it right there. I'm trying to think who it was that I was watching that did this recently, and it was incredible. God, who was it? And then Jazz followed it up with another homer.
And they have control of the steering wheel.
And then the other big development from this game for the Yankees was that Cam Schlittler threw the ball really, really well. So he's kind of now separated himself from Luis Gil a little bit. I do think Cam Schlittler gets the nod in a playoff start. You know, who knows how long he has to go. But he knew the importance of this game. He left a win on the table versus Minnesota his last game. And he comes right out in this game the right way and punches out the side in the first. 98 up top to Jackson Holiday. Beavers.
September, 2 of the 3 starts have been off in the month of September.
99 up top to him. And that's a guy whose swing is built for the upper half of the zone. And then Henderson, he's going to blow away the fastball. So great job by Schlittler to come out the right and proper way in this start following a bad start. You know, setting himself up for success. He ends up pitching 6 innings, does a really good job. And the Yankees win. And they're right there behind Toronto. I don't think they catch them, but they're 2 back. Really 3 back, effectively 3 back because of tiebreakers with 6 to play. So Toronto could still choke away this division. They do play the Red Sox, who need the games massively. So that's going to be a really, really hotly contested and fun series to watch. Red Sox, Toronto coming up. And the Yankees are getting the White Sox. So that's an opportunity for them. At home versus the White Sox. Should be able to at least win that series, if not sweep it. It's kind of weird. They're in a situation where they're almost rooting for the Red Sox to win right here. You don't see that too often from the Yanks. All right, let me check my phone messages. What's this voicemail? Yeah, no. It's all just scam stuff. All right. So I got a little bit more time this morning. What do we want to look at? What do we want to see? As a Yankees fan, would prefer a sweep either way. You get the Sox out of second wild card or the Blue Jays into second place. That's fair. Unlikely that there's a sweep. Usually it'll be 2 out of 3. If it had to be 2 out of 3, I think you'd prefer it to be the Red Sox winning the 2 out of 3. Nah, maybe not. I think if you're the Yankees, you'd rather play Houston, probably. Cam's last start, he seemed to quit pitching, was just hurling at the end. Yeah, Cam got rattled in that Minnesota game. I was covering that on Yes. I'm sure some of you probably saw that, but he got rattled big time in that game. He gave up a home run, and then he just kind of lost the strike zone, which is a little bit uncharacteristic of him. That's not what they want. They want him pounding the zone, trusting his stuff. But overall, if you look at his approach, it's no comparison between him and Luis Gil right now. You go watch Luis Gil's under the hood stuff. It's not good. Schlittler's is a lot better. Is it like ideal? No, but it's not good. So here's Schlittler. You know, you see the numbers. I don't know if this has been updated yet today. They're okay. But then you look at Luis Gil. At the moment, they're really, really bad. You just cannot start a guy in the playoffs with a first percentile walk, first percentile chase, and only 17 percentile K. You just can't. So, despite the fact that he has a 3.33 ERA and 9 starts, he should also be probably a bullpen piece. Maybe the stuff plays up a little bit out there, but the lack of whiff has been surprising. That's why I'd almost rather have Will Warren start than Hill. I know Will Warren. Has had some really big clunkers this year, but he's looking better than Gil. Still not anything exceptional, but better than Gil, I would say, by the process stats. Schlittler way off ahead in first. And this is an interesting problem for Will Warren going forward. You see the run value. He's got really good run value on fastballs, horrible on breaking balls. So then you have to kind of decide to yourself, what's your approach going to be to go forward with that? He has switched to a more heavy fastball approach, 4-seam and sinker, but he's going to have to find a way to get value out of his sweeper and curveball and changeup, especially considering the sweeper and the curveball are pretty good pitches. Let's see what Fangraphs has in his stuff metrics. Yeah, they still have the slider as a 105 and the curveball is a 111. So you got to get value out of those 2+ pitches, and then the fastball has the sinker being plus, 4-seam not. He's just got to find a way. He's got to figure out his new formula. That's all more for next year, but or right now, as you're adjusting to the playoffs. Maybe go more heavy fastball for now, considering where his process stats are at. But yeah, on the pitch values, this is just very, very confusing. -8 on sweeper, -6 on changeup, -7 on curveball. What's that being driven by? Does any of them have a good whiff rate? Only the curveball. The slugging. It's being driven by slugging. 540 on his sweeper, 403 on his changeup, 463 on his curve. I don't know why I'm looking so deeply at Will Warren, but all these guys are going to be important for the Yankees because the underbelly of their bullpen is going to be a starter. It's going to be Heel or it's going to be Warren. And I agree, he had a few big clunkers, Josh Foreman, and that's what really skews a lot of these. They would look a lot better. So right now, if I'm handicapping the number 3 starters, it goes Schlittler, Warren, Heel for me personally. But I think Warren would be a guy that would pitch up a lot, down a lot in playoffs to save those bullpen guys so they don't get overexposed unnecessarily in a long series. Because in all big moments, it's going to be Bednar, Williams, Weaver. And then, I don't know, maybe Tim Hill. I don't see Doval being trusted the same. Him and Leiter are going to be interesting to see how they use those two. But yeah, I don't know. Happy for Cam that he bounced back and did a good job. All right, what else we got here? Is there anything else to see that was important or cool from yesterday's game? Guess we can quickly go to reference and look at the top performers. Oh, we should watch a little bit of Emmett Sheen and see how he's doing it because he's been really good and he's going to be a factor in the playoffs for the Dodgers. So let's watch that. Dodgers, Giants. I didn't lock in on any of that. And really, today we've mostly jumped around. We haven't keyed in on too much actual stuff the way I usually do. But I'm curious to watch all of Sheen's outs and see how he's doing it because it's a low approach angle fastball, I believe. Boston College guy. So, little bird ball action here. Playing on the... I don't know, did they get a new field at BC? Because the old field was the parking lot for the football stadium. I always thought that was almost disrespectful to the baseball team. There's a hit from Rafi. So it's 16.3 vert. I believe it's a low release. We'll check up a little more on Emmett after this. This is a 19 vert. Ooh, nice pitch. Commanding it in. Willie hates it, but that's a strike. Matt Chapman. Yeah, what does the Dodgers bullpen look like come playoffs? This is the big question. This is why I'm watching him, because he's not going to get a start, right? It's going to be Yamamoto, Snell, Glasnow, Ohtani, maybe Kershaw. I don't know if Kershaw will be on or not. Maybe Clayton. BC got a nice brand new baseball-only stadium on campus. I got to drive over to Brookline. No, wait, where are they? Yeah, they're in Chestnut Hill. That's where they are. I got to drive over to Chestnut Hill next time I'm in Boston and check that out. That's long overdue. Then he hits Eldridge. See where he hit the big donkey. Right in the old thigh. Jung-Hoo Lee. Fly ball to left. Like you see, good positioning by the Doyers. Here's a strikeout, Christian Koss.
Feels like night. It's so overcast.
When is that baseball bean pot? Obviously, it's in the school year, probably May, I'm guessing. Rodon on Central. Oh, which Rodon? Carlos? Is his whole family there?
He really is valuable in so many different ways.
So a lot of flyouts so far. 2 hit by pitches. Not afraid to hit guys. Looked like Kinzer wanted to get hit there. Late April, okay. Maybe we'll make the trip. We'll see. We'll see. Take the Excella.
Coming from the 9-hole, not a good start.
Oh my God. Slow motion swing by Helio. Pops it up. Here's a strikeout. Rafi Devers on a fastball. I think it's a good, very flat VAA up in the zone. That would be my guess. Yeah, because even he gets low on the back legs. This is a fun trick. If you can make this combo happen, if you get really low here, like you see how low his knee is, that kind of brings the whole height of the situation down, and then yet he still has an arm angle that's a bit high-ish that allows him to get the wrist behind the ball here, allowing him to maintain this value, 18.8 IVB. So that's a fun trick. If you can actually have real levels of IVB as well as a low release, and he's doing it because he's a little squattier on the mound, that allows you to throw elite stuff up in the zone. So that's the trick, I believe, that Emmett Sheen is producing. Here's a ground out on a slider.
Of Clayton moments, of Dodger moments.
Ooh, good pitch. Down and away. Caps it. Here's some strikeouts. Matt Chapman. Fastball. Yeah, you can see how that fastball rides and plays really nicely up in the zone. Here's Eldridge. This one's a slider. Probably back foot. Ooh, gets him to swing under it. Eldridge's having a tough transition from what I can tell. Not that I've locked in that hard yet, but he's been getting dominated a little bit. Another pop-up. So you can see how that ball's playing very flat through the zone. In a good way. I mean, flat in a good way. And then the 5th inning, got a strikeout of Koss again.
On a 1-2 from Sheehan. Koss strikes out swinging. There's that
nice pitch.
heater.
When he gets it up, they are nowhere near it. Yep, Gilbert's under that.
Do a good solid outing and a W.
So perhaps he's their Kasperius of last year. It's going to be Sheen this year. Pitching in a multi-inning fashion in the playoffs. Maybe getting some leverage. Maybe doing a bulk game depending on what the pitching staff needs in a longer series. I think that's what you're going to see out of Emmett here. And how he's going to really help the Dodgers and be a really big piece. And look at all these strikeouts. What do they have in common? Fastball up right above the zone. Very flat vertical approach. No shot. Here's one on a changeup. Not a strikeout, but that looked like a kick as well. Everybody throws the kick. Everybody learned it. This was really, it's the year of the mix, yes, but it's also the year of the kick. Yeah, you can see that there's a knuckle sandwich on this ball, on this pitch. Another dead giveaway, too, is the lack of horizontal break. This is only 8 horizontal. The kick changes tend to be more straight down with less H break on them. Also, 933 RPM. I don't think he throws a split, so. Kick change strikes again. Gets Rafi to pop up. That's dangerous. Rafi loves changeups. More strikeouts. Adames. Another fastball. Probably up. Yep, same spot again. He struck about 6 guys with the same pitch. That was nasty. That was a little bullet. That did nothing. That was a true bullet. Almost a full 0-0 pitch. And when you see 0-0, that means that ball was spinning perfectly like a bullet. Like, doesn't matter what the orientation is, but perfectly like a bullet. There was no level of backspin, side spin, top spin. It was all just straight bullet spin. And that's what 0-0 will come up on the measurements as. So it's only gravity, but those pitches still drop. They just are weird because they come dead straight and they kind of, you see that? They just kind of give out at the end. Nice pitch. Very hard to read. Last 2 outs, Eldridge. So he goes 7 innings in this game. Does a hell of a job. 10 strikeouts, ties the career high. Puts the rollover there. And then he's going to get another rollover here. So this game was 0-0 through 7. Fantastic job by Sheen. He's going to be big. Let's go check up a little bit on his page since I haven't really locked in on him too much. Man, he looks outstanding. So it's a 4-pitch mix. Let's see percentages. 46.5% four-seam, 30% slider. The slider's got a 43.2% whiff rate. So he really gets your attention with the fastball. Uses the slider for whiff. Fastball has some slug on it, but that's to be expected when he misses with it. Changeup's been a good pitch for him too. He's working that in more, 16.8. Curveball just a little bit, not much. Let's go look at the movements. So he's averaging 17.8 vert, 9.3 horizontal, but from a pretty low release, I believe. What's the arm angle on Emmett? 35. So that's a pretty low. That's a pretty low arm angle. And you can see with the kick change now, he's getting below the vert line at times on the changeups. That's a really good effect with these 2 pitches on the right. The high vert four seam and the outstanding drop on the changeup, and then his Slider is a pretty perfect bullet, so I actually really like his pitches shape-wise quite a bit, especially considering he's got above average extension and below average release height, almost guaranteed. You know what? You know where we'll see release height? We can see it in here if I go to it. Let's see here. Just looking for his release height. So let's look at this swinging strike here. Oh, not Matt Chapman, dude. For the video here, and then I have the metrics on the left. Pitch height, vertical break, horizontal break, pitch time. I know I have a video. I know I have a way of doing this. 96.9 pitch time. Horizontal, vertical break, extension, pitch height. Pitch height's not it. That's the pitch height. Also, you see the effective speed. So he's, because of his extension, his ball plays up speed-wise. He's a little closer to the plate. I don't really see anything in here right now. I need to learn how to move this, but he definitely has a low release height. That's for sure. And that's going to play big. So if you're looking at the Dodgers, let's see. Let's look at the Dodgers pitchers right now and how they're going to piece this thing together. Who's actually healthy. So obviously we know about the starters. They're fine with that. But a lot of these dudes are hurt. A lot of these dudes are hurt. Look how many guys they've used. Sasaki's a possibility coming back, as we covered the other night. We watched him a little bit in his rehab start. Looked good. Kopech is hurt, so they'll have Yates. They'll have Scott. They'll have Trinan. All three of those guys have kind of scuffled. I don't think Hesperius is healthy, right? So then Sheen's going to play a big role. Vesia, did Stewart got hurt? They're going to have to piece it together. This is not the same level, but they're going to be carried a little bit more by their starters, I think, this run through the playoffs. So it's a little different this year in Dodger land. All right, we got a question here. I've heard starters can struggle adjusting the bullpen due to routine warm-up change. Do you think that's less concerned in the playoffs because of adrenaline, or they prepare differently in the playoffs? I just think people just don't know what to do. Like, you're used to having your starter routine. It's really hard in the bullpen. You don't understand the level of anticipation that it takes. You don't realize how fast it can happen, especially when you're in the role like the long reliever role. The starter could go out there in the first inning, have a 1-2-3 inning, second inning, 1-2-3 inning, and it could blow up in like 4 batters in the third inning. So if you're not able to think ahead and prepare ahead as if it could happen, but be okay if it doesn't, you're going to struggle in that bullpen role big time. So I think it depends on everybody. Like with Senga, I felt like it was too much for him. He looked better, I felt like, in starting when he could do his full routine. But I've also seen other guys that have no problem. Also, it helps if you've had any bullpen experience before. Certainly. Big time. Maybe there's a roster resource I can look at here. Like who's on their bullpen at this exact moment? Scott, Vesia, Edgardo Enriquez, Jack Dreyer, Blake Trinan, Anthony Banda, Will Klein, Kirby Yates, Justin Robleski. So somebody there is going to get bumped for Sheen. Probably Robleski, since he's the long reliever, although that would be my guess. And then, you know, who of these guys is going to come back healthy? Maybe Sasaki. Stewart had shoulder inflammation. Don't know if he's coming back. Grove's done. Gratterall's done. Kopech just got hurt again. Phillips had Tommy John, so he's done. Bobby Miller, don't think he's getting another shot. Kasperius is now down there starting in AAA. Is that what's happening, or is he hurt? I don't know. Looks like he might be starting. They're going to have to figure it out, man. Their bullpen is not what I'm used to seeing at the moment. Starting looks great. So, Stewart and Sasaki, that's big. Stewart's a good piece, too. Be curious to see how he looks when he comes back. Dreyer's been really good. So, guys to potentially get banged off here. Will Klein, Roboleski, Edgardo Enriquez, maybe. I know he's got good stuff. Yeah, Tanner Scott is critical. They need to figure that out right now. Also, there's the option of maybe Shohei being in the bullpen at some point too. But I think Sheen's going to be a huge factor moving forward in the bullpen. He's been one of the best pitchers in the game the last month. So that's a big factor. And then obviously Shohei. All right, let's just go ahead and do probables. There's only 3 games tonight, so tomorrow's show will be interesting. Man, I got a lot of stuff going on here. Only 3 games tonight. Only one of them really has any real impact moving forward. So it's Nats and Braves. This is a rematch of last week. Mackenzie Gore and Chris Sale. Sale got the better of him in that start. Then we got the Brewers and the Padres. Freddie Peralta, this is probably his last game before his playoff start. And Nick Pivetta, probably same boat there. At this point, Pivetta is probably their game 1 starter. Playoffs? Pretty good chance. Yeah, pretty good chance, I would say. And then Cardinals, McGreevy, and Verlander. So Verlander looking to continue what he's been doing. He's been outstanding the last little while. And the Giants are in must-win every game circumstance here. So Cardinals go to Oracle Park out there in the Bay, and they get Verlander today. Tonight, Peralta and Pivetta. So 2 really late games. There's only 1 East Coast primetime game. So really a lack of baseball today for the only time in a long time. Because after this, it's going to get really spicy. Obviously, the last 6 days of the regular season and then on into the playoffs. And we'll be here every day. We'll be here doing it every day. We got one last question that we'll try to look at really quick. Would you give the Rookie of the Year to 2024 Skeens or 2025 Kurtz? Oof. That's a good question. Skeens made, 20 starts last year? Oh, the show's going all the way through the playoffs. And we're going to do a lot more night shows, too, during the playoffs, 100%. So don't worry about that. And then we're going to keep it going through the offseason as well, doing different things, more talking. We'll dive into some different topics. But I think in the show will probably be 3 days a week at that point instead of 6. But we'll see what the demand is. And I definitely want to keep going. Ohtani has been limited to 5 innings in the regular season. Do you think he'll pitch more in the playoffs? Also, why limit based on innings versus pitch counts? Does the up-down between innings actually matter? The up-downs definitely matter. I think getting your body used to the start and stop nature of starting is a thing. I think he'll go more as needed in the playoffs. They're not looking to ride him like complete games or anything, and he might actually go to the bullpen at some point, regardless of the hitting rule. I could see him being utilized in that way. And he'll also get starts. There could be a piggyback situation there where he starts a game, comes out. So, I don't know. It's going to be interesting. Shohei is such a wild card in his usage for this playoffs. I think he'll drive a lot of that too, how he's feeling, what they think, what they think could affect him or not affect him. But he's a weapon. You got to use him. You got to deploy him 100%. Spectre, thanks for doing these streams. I look forward to each one, and I'm here start to end because all info I'd hate to miss. Someone who'd like to make a career in the front office. Thanks. Well, I don't know it all. I'm trying to learn a lot by doing this too. This just keeps me plugged in. I can only tell you stuff from my own experience, and the stuff I'm trying to watch. This stream has allowed me, a way to stay engaged, stay locked in, look through more games that I wouldn't have caught. It's hard to watch so much baseball. It's hard to digest it all, to see what matters. I think it makes me a smarter fan. Obviously, I love the game. I don't feel like my time with baseball is even remotely over with. But this is a weird little moment where I'm in between things. So this is really fun. And I'm hoping we can do it forever. I'm hoping we get more eyeballs as we go. But this has been really fun. And thanks for all the people that have been here a lot. It means a lot to me. So, really appreciate you guys. The streams on the weekend were awesome. We did Friday night after Baseball After Dark, Saturday night Baseball After Dark, 2 hours each. They were great. We watched a ton of baseball. We had fun. You know, those chats always get good, and these ones have been good too in the morning. So I'll be back here, same time, same place tomorrow. And yeah, it's only 3 games to probably look at. Maybe somebody puts up a great performance and can really dive into it, and then maybe we'll preview some of the huge series that are coming up starting tomorrow. You know, Mets Cubs. If we skip ahead one day, we will have Mets Cubs. We will have a continuation of Giants Cards. Dodgers Diamondbacks will be good. Twins. No, not Twins. Boston, Toronto, that's like huge. Sorry, I'm looking up here at these games on the top. Boston, Toronto will be huge. Detroit, Cleveland, they go head to head again. Cleveland can literally just steal the division from them starting tomorrow. So a lot of fun stuff to watch and to stay tuned for. But we'll definitely be back here to discuss it all in the morning. So thanks again for hanging out. That's really all I got today. Baseball and Coffee has been fun, and we'll see you again tomorrow. Peace. Love you guys. See ya.